I'm 79 years old, and most mornings I wake up to a quiet house that I worked my whole life to earn. There's coffee in the cupboard, heat in the walls, money in the bank. There's also no one in the next room. I'm not telling this because I need forgiveness. I don't think that's coming. I'm telling it because when you get to my age, the past stops being a story and starts feeling like a weight you carry around, whether you want to or not. People assume you feel proud when you get old. They think you sit back and look at what you built. What I mostly do is look at what slowly slipped away while I was busy building something else. When I was young, stability felt like love. It felt like responsibility. It felt like the opposite of the chaos I grew up in. My father was in and out of work. Bills were always late. There was always tension in the house, even on good days. So when I got married in my early 20s, I made a quiet promise to myself. I would never let my family feel that kind of uncertainty. I would provide. I would be solid. I would make sure there was always enough. At the time, that felt noble. It felt like the right thing. No one warned me that you can keep a roof over people's heads and still slowly disappear from their lives. I took a job that paid well but demanded everything. Long hours, weekends, a commute that ate up what little energy I had left. I told myself it was temporary, just a few years to get ahead, just until the mortgage felt lighter. My wife understood, at least at first. She'd pack my lunch. She'd wait up so we could talk for 10 minutes before bed. Our kids were small then. They smelled like soap and crayons. They'd fall asleep on my chest when I was home early enough. I remember thinking, this is why I do it. This is worth it. What I didn't notice was how often worth it meant later. Later I'll take fewer hours. Later I'll be more present. Later we'll go on that trip. Later I'll slow down. Later is a dangerous word. It sounds responsible. It sounds patient. It lies to you. The years didn't crash in all at once. They crept quietly. One missed dinner at a time. I missed school plays because of deadlines. Birthday dinners because of conference calls. Anniversaries because I was too tired to be anything but physically present. I'd tell myself, they understand. I'm doing this for them. They'll appreciate it someday. What I didn't understand is that appreciation doesn't replace presence. Children don't remember the reasons you weren't there. They remember that you weren't. My wife stopped asking me to come home early. That should have scared me more than it did. Instead, I felt relieved. One less decision. One less place where I was falling short. We talked about logistics more than feelings. Schedules, bills, who was picking up who. Love doesn't usually end with a fight. Sometimes it ends with silence that feels easier than effort. By the time I noticed the distance, it felt permanent. Like furniture that had been in the wrong place for so long you stopped seeing it. The turning point didn't come with shouting. It came with a hospital room. My wife got sick in her early 60s. Nothing dramatic at first, just fatigue she couldn't shake. I remember sitting beside her bed, holding her hand, realizing I didn't know how to comfort her without fixing something. There was nothing to fix. She looked at me one night and said, very calmly, I needed you more when I was healthy. She wasn't angry. That was the part that hurt. She passed less than a year later. Cancer doesn't negotiate with intentions. At the funeral, people told me how lucky she was to have been provided for. They meant it kindly. I nodded and thanked them. Inside, I kept thinking about all the ordinary days I never came home early. After that, the house got quieter. The kids called, but not often. They had lives. I had helped make sure of that. I don't blame them for the distance. We trained each other into it. You don't get to be absent for decades and then expect closeness on demand. Relationships don't work like pensions. You can't withdraw warmth you never deposited. Now I have time, endless time. I walk slower. I eat slower. I think slower. I think about how stability was supposed to protect us, but it slowly replaced us. How being dependable turned into being unavailable. How I confused duty with love. If you're listening to this and you're younger, I won't tell you what to do. Life doesn't listen to advice anyway. I'll just tell you what I wish I had understood. Stability is important. Money matters. Security matters. But people don't remember how hard you worked. They remember how often you showed up. They remember if you listened without rushing. If you sat down when you said you would. If you noticed them when there was nothing urgent pulling you away. There is a cost to everything, even the good choices, especially the good choices. You don't feel that cost right away. You feel it when it's too late to pay it back. I don't hate my life. That's not what this is. I'm grateful for what I was able to give. I just wish I'd understood that providing and being present were never supposed to be separate jobs. Now at 79, I measure my days differently. Not by what I accomplish, by who I hear from. Some days that's no one. And I sit with that. If this meant something to you, If it stirred something uncomfortable or familiar, you don't have to do anything dramatic about it. Just notice it. Don't rush past it like I did. I don't have much time left. I know that. I've made peace with the fact that some things can't be repaired, only understood. This is me understanding it. Out loud.